Welcome to our DevOps journey where efficiency and innovation converge. In this video, we'll explore the crucial role of Linux commands in DevOps success. Agenda. Number 1, Vim command examples. Number 2, diff command examples. Number 3, sort command examples. Number 4, export command examples. Number 5, xarg command examples. So before we begin with the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for regular updates.
Today we are also going to do some further commands. So we have total 50 commands. Out of that we have done just only 6. So we'll try to complete it today. So the next command is called as Vim command or VI command. Now this is the command which we use for creating new files or editing existing files. So this file basically, or this command basically used to create the files. Like suppose if you want to create a dummy file or a new file, we can use this particular command to do that. But we can also edit existing file using the VI command. So let's see that how we can use it. So today also I will do the commands into the same folder so that you should be able to know that what exactly we are doing. And okay, so VI command. So VI command is something which which is a default. Okay, it's a default with every operating system. Whatever the commands I am executing, so VI commands will be equal to what any operating system. Like even it is same with the. You can use this same commands in the Mac operating system also. So because Mac is also created on top of Unix platform, so you can easily execute these kind of commands over there also. So whatever the operating system, these commands are by default, and you can be able to use it. Now the only difference between different flavors is, suppose that here to do the package installation or any kind of software installation, we have apt command. But in case of Linux, or in case of Red Hat, in case of CentOS, you have yum command. Okay, and in case of Mac operating system, you have brew command. So these kind of differences or changes is only there if we talk about different operating system. But the core commands like vi, find, and grep command, these are all same in the whole operating system. Now here what we'll do is we will create a new file. Okay, so let's see that we are creating a new file called file here. Okay, and it's already there. So we are not sure that whether the file is there or not. If I create vi file and the file is already there, so it will show me the content of that particular file. So vi is something which opens the file in an interactive mode, and you can do the operations like you can delete the files lines, you can edit the lines, and all those operations you can do. But if you want to create a new file, suppose a sample file I want to create, so if I open this one and it says a new file because the file is not there. Okay, so if I don't do the edit changes and save it and I simply close it, okay, so I will find out that there is no sample file created here. So in order to create the sample file, you have to do some changes, you have to save the file at least, and then you will be able to see the file content. Yes, I can see you have raised your hand.
Yeah, so I had 2 questions here. The first question is, how do when we log into AWS, I see a $ sign at the end instead of a hash, right? Yesterday it was a hash. So I'm thinking I have logged in as a root user, because yesterday you said that if you see a $ sign, then you are a root user. So my question is, how do I sign in as a regular? And my second question is, if you create a sample, how do you delete it?
See, delete commands and all those are later on. Like I am just going with the document first. Okay, so there are some delete commands. See here, rm commands is there, copy commands, move command, cat commands. So all the commands is listed on, but it's listed out in a sequential manner. So let's
Okay,
do the commands first, and then if any command is missed out, I will explain you.
sure. And what about the dollar sign and the number sign?
Instead of hash, you are getting dollar, right?
Yes. So which means I am signed in as a root user, right?
No, it is not like that.
Oh,
Instead
okay.
of dollar sign, we are getting hash. For me, the dollar symbol is coming as a normal user. So then you have to do like sudo su hyphen to switch to the root user, and then this
Oh, okay.
hash will change to the hash.
Okay. Fine.
Okay. So yeah, so I have not created this file sample. So what I'm going to do is I'm just again opening the file va sample. Okay, and then so to create a file or to edit a file, the thing is that you have to go into the insert mode. Okay, the insert mode will start. Okay, there are two modes. One is like insert mode, and then if you press escape, you will come out of that particular mode. So without typing insert mode, if I suppose type right now hello, so you can see that with when I pressed HELL, nothing happened, and when I pressed O, it basically moved to the insert mode here. You can see here insert mode. So that is what we, without going to the insert mode, we can miss some of the data which we want to write. So I'll press escape again. Okay, I'll try again. So what I'll do is I'll first of all press I means insert. So you can see in the bottom of the line here, bottom of the line, if I press escape, so it's coming out of the insert mode is coming out of that. And if I press I mode, I am going to the in the edit mode, so I can do the changes here. Okay, and if I want to save it now, I have to come out of the insert mode. Okay, and I have to do colon wq exclamatory. Now this thing we have to write here. This things means that W means write, that you want to write it. If you don't want to write it, so don't mention write a W. So you can simply say that colon Q. Okay, Q means quit. You want to quit out of the VI mode and you want to save the file, and you want to simply come out of this interactive mode to the shell prompt. And exclamatory means that you want to do it forcefully. So sometimes if the resource is being used by some process or something like that, or if someone else is using that particular file, so that time it will not allow you to save it forcefully. So in that particular scenario, you will do it forcefully, you will close it forcefully. So colon wq and exclamatory, you want to do it. And okay, so it says that the file is created. Now if I do lsi for lrt sample, so the file is created with today's timestamp. Date is the command to check that what is the timestamp is right now, what is the time over there. And you can also use this particular thing, that if you change the zone here, like here the zone is IST, so that is the reason why I am able to see IST. If you create, so it takes the local, because I am using the virtual machine, so it takes the local system time. And if you're using the AWS machines, it usually the time is on UTC. So here it's showing that this is the time over here. So that the file is created here. Now the thing is that this file is created, I can again open it into the VI mode. So it will go into the the sample, the content of the file is visible to me. I can go ahead and change the content of this particular part, and I can simply if I want to replace it, suppose if I want to do some more changes, so I can able to do it. I can again say colon wq exclamatory, and I can if I press enter, so the file of the content will be saved again. So if I want to show the content on the screen itself without going to the interactive mode, the cat command is there. Cat command is kind of the command which will show the content of the file immediately on the prompt. So it is shown, it have shown me the content of the file here, cat sample, and it's purely on the screen. And like this particular file basically, I can write any particular file. I can say it's sample.txt or sample, it doesn't matter. One thing in Linux that we know that in Windows there is a huge difference between sample.txt and sample.doc. So but it's not there in the Linux. In Linux every file is a text file, but in Windows we usually say that only the .txt file is something which you can open the notepad and it's a plain text. But rest all other things like the doc or any particular docs or PDF, they are having a different um, formats. But in Linux there is only single format, that is text format, plain text. And that it doesn't matter even if you put sample.log, sample.txt or simple sample file. So that is the whole overall difference between the these things, what do you say, the text file there. Now you have created this text file, you can edit it. You can go ahead, you can again open the file. If you say that okay, there is a space after hello, I want to remove it, so you can simply use the backspace. You can delete it like normally you delete in Windows also, and you can simply save it again, and now the content of the file will be changed. So this is how you basically create new files, and you can also edit the existing files. And the deleting of files and folders, everything I'll do it later, because right now I need these files. So this is how you create the file here. Now this is the file thing. Now if I want to create a folder, so the folder creation is very simple. It says mkdir. So mkdir is the command of sample folder. Now there is a very important command, a parameter in mkdir, which is called -p. So I'll show you that now. So if I say that I want to create a sample, a file and a folder under the sample folder, so I have executed like this one. So what it says that, suppose if you want to create a subfolder but you don't have the parent folder itself, so in that particular scenario what you want to do is like, it says that cannot create directory, no such file or directory, because sample folder is not there, I have deleted it. Now in order to create the folders like this one, and because it's very headache that once first you execute mkdir sample folder, then using the cd command you will go into the sample folder, and then again execute mkdir folder command. So it's very lengthy process. So in order to avoid it and do it into the single command itself, what you can do is, because in case if there are 3-4 folders you want to create, so it will be very difficult task for you. So in order to do that, what you will do is you will say that mkdir, okay, and there is just one extra parameter called .mp, sorry, .-p, and what it will do is it will simply create the folder also. I will able to see the folder also, sample folder, and there will be a subfolder created in this sample folder also. So that is the advantage we are getting with this mkdir -p option. -p option will let us create the parent folders also in the particular path. Simple like that. If suppose I want to create something like this one, but I know that in temp folder I don't have even the sample folder. Folder is not there, file folder is also not there. So in that particular scenario, if I execute this thing and it says that mkdir form, if I say -p, so what will happen is all the folders which is there in this path will be created if those are not existed. So if I do this thing, so the folder gets created. So that is the implementation of -p here. Diff and then sort command. and then export. Okay, so now the next part is that we are going to do okay, now we are going to do a creation of a there is a diff command which basically let us know that what exactly is the difference between two files. So we do have like online diff checker, like what is the difference between two files, exactly two files, and we use these kind of features in mostly the uh, application deployments when we have a lot of configurations, a lot of property files in application, and we want to compare that what is the difference between the previous configuration file and the new configuration file. So or to check the difference between the backup file or with the existing file. So these kind of properties, when you want to check the difference, that is where we use the we use this particular command diff here into the Linux environment. Now let's see that there is a two different properties. Like now there is a command called touch. Okay, touch is a command. So we know that using the vi command we can create file, but we also know that without doing any changes to the file or at least the initial content, we cannot create a 0 byte file. Okay, right? So with the touch command, what happens is we can basically create a 0 byte file, you know, and we don't have to change, and we don't have to do any kind of changes also to the file also. You can see here that the size is 0. It means that there is nothing into this files. I can do a cat and show you. So there is nothing into the files. So we basically used it for our internal purpose, that we are going to suppose in some cases you want to create some dummy log file, and then some process will keep on writing the content into the log file. So in those particular scenario, we will use this particular option. Okay, so we have the java.properties here with us. So if you open the java.properties now, and suppose I have said that Java. So this is the content which I have saved here into the file, and there is another file which I want to save it. Now I have created like java new.properties. Here I want to change, like the path is different. Okay, so I have two files here. So obviously there is a difference of content between the two files. So there is like two different sizes there. One file is having 26 KB and second one is like 20 KB. So depending on the content, the size of the file is there. Now what I have to do is I have to basically check a difference between these two files. Like java.properties is the existing file, and java-new is something which is a new file. So they are going to replace java-new with the java.property files. So in order to check the difference, that what exactly changes are there and what exactly the changes will be overwritten, or what is the delta that which you are basically deploying. So these command is basically specifically used by the person who is there into the deployments, or who is doing some kind of troubleshooting, that what exactly caused the issue. So that is where we use this particular command. So we say that diff initial command and the next command. So to both these two commands we are going to use with the diff command. So the only difference, it says that there is a difference between this line, and it says that 1C1. So it means that it's the difference is there in the first row, and the column is also first because it initially started over there. So this is how we get the difference between the two files. Now you may also say that there is only one row in this particular file, and that is the reason why maybe it's doing another way. So let's do one thing. Let's create another file, another content here.
Normally, when the file is humongous, the best command to use is vim diff rather than using diff with different parameters.
Sorry.
The best command normally to use when the file size when the file is humongous, which we are comparing, is vim diff. Vim diff utility is better than using the diff command.
See, Vimdiff, if you go for that, I'm not sure if it is a a default utility or something like that. There are so many packages, so many utilities provided by third-party utilities are there. Okay, and some organizations, it's a parallel comparison. But the thing is, in some organizations, there will be a restrictions. Like what you say that there are some operating systems like Ubuntu 14 and 16, or even some organizations are not there onto the Ubuntu, because Ubuntu is something which is not most of the companies are going forward. So they mostly go for the operating system in AWS, or rather than in other physical data center also for CentOS and Red Hat. So there may be a difference that this command may not be there, or it may be there over there. But what happens is some organizations got filter out some of the binaries from the operating system, because if it is not a some standard commands, or if it is not a part of a for like a Ubuntu released or CentOS released commands or Red Hat released commands, they don't want to use those particular commands, because the reason is simple. Although this Linux is open source, but yes, you are using it for the purpose of like, because uh, most like lot of banks operating banks software, financial domain software, a lot of things are running on these Linux commands. So if you go for a data center, so there what they will do is they will cut short these commands. They will change the operating system in such a way. I'm talking about the virtual machines only. They cut short or they trim the operating system in such a way that they remove all the unwanted commands there. So there maybe you will not find out the vim diff command, but if at all it is there, it is just opening into the vi mode also, and it's opening into the parallel comparison like we get in the GUI. So but at least the default, or the old command which is coming, which is there, is the diff command, which will surely will be there in a lot of the operating system. So you can use both the commands. If you go for vim for diff command, you will find out that what is the difference between the two, exactly what is the difference between two files on the basis of row and column. Okay, and it will not show you the all the content. It will show you only the which is the content which is having the difference. So that is another requirement. And vim diff is something which will show you the parallel comparison of the file. Okay, so here if the file is of 20-30 lines, or if it is file of 20 to 50 row is there, then again you have to scroll down, and you have to process the complete file. So if it is like a huge files of the code file, so you have to go through that. But there is a different implementations of diff command. Diff command only shows you difference. Okay, so it only shows you that what is the difference which which you going to show you. And also diff command once into the vi mode, as you can see that vim diff is basically opening it into the vi mode. And that is more risky part, because if somehow you saved something, or did instead of q exclamatory, if you did something wq, so you can change the timestamp of the file. And believe me, in enterprises and in the production environments, changing timestamp is very risky part, because they may feel that okay, that somebody did some changes, although if you have not touched any content of the file, they will get notified that yes, some files is changed. And there is possibility that they can get the ID of yours, that yes, this person has done touched this particular configuration files. So it's very risky in production environments like this, that if you know how basically commands you use to open it. Now a classic example is in production environment, we don't execute the vi command to open any configuration. Suppose I have some java.property files, so we don't promote to open the files into the vi mode. Usually what we do is we do like options like cat.property files. It will show us the content on the same screen itself. okay, and otherwise we can use the view command also. Okay, so it will be opening into the read-only format only. So that is the benefit, we are going to get with these commands. So there are certain, seriousness about these commands that depending on the organizations you have to follow. But diff command shows you only the difference. Vim diff will show you the parallel difference. You can utilize it. I can update into my. Yeah, thanks for that. So Vim diff is a parallel comparison, but it's risky part that it opens into the W mode, and if by mistakenly if you opened it, or somehow it got changed, so it will be serious problem for that. So try to have according to your requirement, according to your organization. If it is like a MNC and very serious project, try to avoid these VA commands and cat commands at least. Sorry, VA and Vim diff and something, any command like this one, which is basically changing something, like touch command is very sensitive. You should not do it with any configuration files. So because this is very serious problems there, because in production environment you should not touch any configuration files, um, without any CR, change window or some CR window like that. So these kind of things is there into the organizations. But unless and if you're working for a startup or any kind of organization where it's not something very very serious, you can use this vim diff command, because it really helps out that. So, and if you have pretty confident that yes, I can handle this command, you can simply utilize it for your purpose. But it will basically show you that what exactly, if you have to scroll down the whole file to find out the difference, and you have to basically consolidate that. But yes, you can utilize, you can see that you can see it once, you can use different options to do the difference. Now here you can see that the file which is the row which is having the difference is marked as pink. Okay, but the other command, other line, which is which is same, it's not showing, it's not highlighted basically. So you can scroll down through the whole file if it is a multiple file, and you can simply check that what exactly is the delta, and you can write it down into some notepad or something like that, and you will came to know that what is the difference. But if you want to send some difference into the mail or some to some developer or something like that, then the best part is that you can execute the diff command, and it will show you only the lines which is having the difference, not the complete file. So different commands having different benefits and different accessibility. So that is the thing. Now next command is the sort command. Sort command, from the name itself is evident that it's used for the sorting, and it's basically on the alphabetic order, and we use a lot of times the sort command here. The only implementations, the important implementation of sort command is that we used to get the unique values filtered out in case of sort command, like if some multiple values are repeated and all those things. So I'll show you all these things with example of with the example basically. So I came into the insert mode, I removed the whole content here, and suppose I'll say that I'm just putting the values randomly. So if I told you that if you don't want to go into the VI mode and see the content, you can type the cat command. So cat sample, I have typed it, and the command, the output is visible to me on the screen here. So that is the thing here. Now the thing is that I want to do a sort on this one. So obviously there is two ways to do the sorting command. You can do it on directly on the file also, or you can execute it on the command also. So I'll say that sort sample is there, so you can see that how it basically sorted out the file here. So it basically sorted like A B D M T Y. So it sorted that file over here, and according to like alphabetical order, it have sorted the file. So you can use it in various or purpose that what is the after the sorting you have. Now let's tweak the file a little bit. Let's add the duplicates here. Okay, the I have added a duplicate letter, and that also sorted also over there. So A is coming and B D M T Y. So this is how it works. So we have done a sorting. Okay, the advantage of sorting is that it's basically let us know in the alphabetic order. Now let's see that how sorting helps in the taking the unique. Now there is a command called unique. Okay, the task of unique is that it will let us know the unique values. Like suppose I have repeated a here, right? So ideally it should not give me 2 times a, it should give me the unique values only, right? So that is what we have. So we can also execute the same command like cat sample. I am again telling you that this combination of 2 commands is something which you will be using in lot of daily purposes. So this is also going to give me the same output. So I found out that yes, this unique command does not gives me the unique values, because how exactly it works. Now when it reads the file unique command, first line it checks that y is there, and when it comes to the second alphabet, it compares with the previous letter. Now it find out that yes, the previous letter is not same, so it basically said that okay, these two are are a unique values. So like this one, it will keep on comparing each value with the previous one, and it always finds out that yes, the unique value is there. But instead of y, it should be a, because I should be doing the uniqueness on the sorting, because like this one it will never come to me. The same value, the same alphabet order will never come without the sorting. So what we'll do is we'll do it like this one, cat sample sort. Now the a comes with the a. So now I have the option that I can, if I execute the unique here, I will be getting only one value. The other a value is simply discarded. So this is the benefit of using the combination of tools. The output of one file or something like that, you can totally transform it. You can totally transform it into a new format, and you can basically use it for later purpose or whatever the purpose. And that is the whole implementation of this particular command here. So sort and unique command are very important commands, and you may because sort is the only command which is used to do a sorting in the Linux way. So all the files or any file require sorting command, sorting to benefit. It's a similar way what you do in the Excel sheet. You do some sorting and you process it. So it's a similar way. Yes, so that's how the comparison works, and that's how it will be able to check the unique value. So that is the reason, in order to have the unique value, you have to definitely do a sorting here. But then you have to do some kind of awk command or the scripting to find it out. So you may have undergone into your bachelor's or master's also that sorting
Yeah.
there is like sorted array and unsorted array. Then lot of algorithms and lot of programs is there, that what is the benefit of having the sorted array and then unsorted array. So in those algorithms also, the first task they do is that they sort it. Like in any comparison algorithm or any kind of algorithm, you will find out that the first of thing they will do is that for the unsorted array they will sort it, because if you have a sorted array or a sorted string, the overhead of comparison. So it's a standard implementation that obviously if you want to find out the uniqueness, because that's how the commands is written, and it basically needed a value particular file into a simple format, and this is your task, that you need to provide that particular format to those particular command to provide the exact same exact correct output here.
Oh, okay.
And if we have to print only duplicate line, do we have any option with unique?
The understanding of uniqueness is that you want to do the unique lines. Okay, that is the expectation you want from the command.
So
Okay,
can we print
but
duplicate line using unique or not?
duplicate lines, I'm not aware of that. I don't think so. We can write it with the unique. And one more thing, if you at all, one second, if you at all feel like the question you asked me that yes, whether we can do it or not, because there are a lot of options to with different commands. If you're working with a command in a single in a single manner, there may be a lot of other implementation of the commands. So there is a command called man, which is called manual, and you can get the support or this thing what you say that documentation of each command. Okay, so there is a whole document here. It shows that what is the command name here, and we also used even with the experienced people also use this command, because there are some commands which you may not be aware of, that what exactly what exactly is the options which is different, which is provided here. Now since here I was not aware of that, whether we were able to print the duplicate lines or not, but the option is there. The hyphen d option is there. Okay, and if you use the hyphen u option, it will show the uniqueness here. So there are some commands that you may not know the other side of those commands, that what are the different options is provided by them, because the reason is simple. If you have not worked on that particular option with your over the period of time, you will not be able to know, because you can see that one command is having so many options here. 10 options is there. But if you want to, now here the hyphen I, ignore case, is also there. If suppose tomorrow ignore case comparison is also you want it, what it is, it basically gives me a output with the A also and the capital A also. So it basically went into the mode of comparison, and ignore case is there. So in order to avoid it, I know that hyphen I option is there. Okay, so with the ignore hyphen I, you can see that what it have done is it removed the capital A, because a small a is already there, right? So that is the thing here. Now there is options. What we discuss is that uniqueness hyphen u, all the unique files, and hyphen d. Okay, so this is the line where basically the duplication of the file is there, that what are the different duplications is there. But yes, if you want to compare, because if I remove the hyphen I here, so there will be no duplication, because that will consider lowercase and the capital A as a different one. But if you give like hyphen d, sorry, hyphen id, so it will compare on the basis of ignore case, and it will also show you the duplicate lines. So the duplicate lines is A and capital A. So like this one, there will be a lot of implementations of this thing, this any particular command. So all these options is needed when when at all you want to search it, or when out of the box requirement is there. Because because as far as I have never used this hyphen d option. Okay, I have used hyphen I, but hyphen d option never used, because we usually filter out the unique file only. We don't want the duplicates, because nobody wants the duplicates, because that's the ideal requirement will be like you to find out the unique files only. So in very few a requirement you may require, depending on the requirement, that you may require this particular duplicate lines also. But as far as a standard implementation of unique, what we say is that it basically let us know the unique unique files only without and removing the duplicate lines. So the concept of in Linux, the concept of using this -i -d, even in grep we use -i -r. See, just understand this, the option with hyphen, these arguments or these options is nothing but extension of a command. There is a standard implementation that how a command works, and there is an extension of that command that how different arguments are used by a command to do a different processing. Now in grep also we say that the grep, this is the standard implementation. Then we comes at like a -i -r. So all those are options are the extended options here. So if you go to the man grep, you'll find out this, there are a lot of options here. See how many options is there. So in maybe don't require all the options here, depending on the requirement you may utilize those options. But the thing is that if you're able to understand the basic functionality, then the further is just the extension of the command. And in the case of very few requirements, or even because see, it's very difficult to do. Now we have only identified the 50 commands which is necessary for the DevOps, but there are so many commands over there, like so many uh, commands in Linux. And day by day, since the new versions of the operating system is coming up, and new commands and the binaries are getting added up to the operating system, so it will be very difficult for you to work on all these commands and to understand all each and every particular argument of that command. So the only way to get it, that first with learning more and more, learning onto the job. And because if you use once command, any command if you use into your organization, you will remember it for a quite long time until you regularly use it. So that is the advantage of doing the commands on the in your organization. So that is there. So this is the implementation of unique. We can get the both things, and we can use it with the combination of sort command. So here you can see in this particular command, I have altogether used 3 commands here. One is the cat command, and on top of that I have done a sorting, and then I have done a uniqueness of the file. So I have removed the uniqueness that I want to do the unique here. So this is the implementation of
Does this sort considers the white spaces or blank spaces?
See, as I told you that in Linux everything is all about this thing only. What do you say, that the character only. So if you say that a new line, okay, if it is a white space is there, then it also compares as a slash n or is a null character.
Oh, okay.
Let me show. Because see, right now let me show you what is the size here. Okay, it's a 12 one. Okay, so it's a yeah, it's a 12 one. So if I do a new line, so the size got 13, right? So what it does, it did not consider it anything. It just did it consider it as a character. And what it basically done is it basically changed the timestamp of of that particular sorry, not timestamp, it changed the size of that particular part. And also when you will say that okay, the cat sample is there and then sort unique is there, so you have find out that yes, the new line a blank space is also coming up there, because in Linux it does not understand its space, or it's not like intelligent as Windows. That is one thing. Okay, everything in Linux is about characters and string. Okay, so if a new line is there, then it's a slash n is there, so it will consider it as a character and it will simply print out here on the screen.
Okay.
Okay, so Linux is, that's the reason why we say that Linux is very straightforward operating system. It's a string based, it's a character, string or content based. It's not like complex .exe dot complex formats is there. Nothing. It's just .txt is there. Dot normal or even without txt we are using the text file also. So it's that simple. The combination of commands also works, and also the sort and unique command works. Now this combination of commands will do it a lot of ways. Now you can also use a combination that you want to grep only for a particular parameter. Suppose you want to only grep for a. So you can keep on doing the filtration. So you can understand this command. The first command was the cat sample, then you did a filter on that, which will basically do a sorting on that, and again a filter on that particular part. You created a unique one, and again out of that the last filter you added is that the grep a. So this is, I told you on that day also that this pipe is nothing but kind of a filtration, that what exactly, you are taking the previous commands output as input, and you doing some processing and again giving some output. Now this output which you're giving, it's not something which, you can give the same output also. Like in case of sort, you can give, you give the same amount of data back again on the screen, but in a different format, like in sorted manner or unsorted manner. That is depending on the command, but yes, it's providing the same data. So that is the advantage of this particular command. Now next command is the export command, which I will show you during the shell scripting itself. And xargs command I have already shown you yesterday, that what exactly the different advantage of xargs command. And ls, we know that ls-lrt. So I'll again give you some overview. So ls gives the list of the lines and folders immediately, and ls-l is a long listing with all the permissions and all. LA means that it will show you all the hidden files also, starting with the dot. If like some file is there, dot ssh is there, or let me show you in the home directory. If you type ls-l.
Anuj, I had a question over here.
Yes.
Anuj, I just wanted to know, like, when we are going through the ls, I see the output over here. I don't know if you have gone through this yesterday or not, because I missed the class yesterday. I just want to know, will you also go through the access levels, like the read write thing, like that the first column that you see, the ls output, the read write, read only, that is called as access levels, right?
See, there is a command called chmod and chon, which I am going to explain later where. So at that particular part I will explain you. So don't worry, every important command is covered up. So first because in the bottom there are so many commands. We have reached only
sure
15 only. So there are.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you that question. Like I don't want you to explain it right away, but if you're doing it later on, fine.
Yeah. So don't worry, all the commands are covered, and we will see that if any particular person want to know any specific command, we'll do that also. But let's do this 50 first. Okay. So.
Sure.
Okay, so in this particular folder in the home directory, you will find out there are a lot of SSH folder and a lot of configuration folder which is hidden. So basically there is a dot before that. Any file which you create before, if you say touch dot sample, and if you type ls-l, you will not be able to find that file because that is a hidden file. Okay, so in Windows also we do like this, right? We used to go to the properties and then enable it to show the hidden folders. So similarly here also like this one. So I have to just enter the A option to show me the hidden files. So you can see here there are so many hidden files and folders over here. The dot sample file which I created, that is also hidden over here and it's shown to me. Okay, so that is the advantage of ls-la option. Now there is a option called T, which basically gives me the output that on the basis of the timestamp here. So it will show the latest file in the top and it will show the old file in the bottom, which is wrong. So we'll create an option called R, which will reverse the output which is visible to you. So R will reverse it, and it will show the latest file at the bottom and the old file in the top. Because when you work with the real-time servers or the production environments, there may be a lot of files, or like hundred of thousand of files into the folder here. So there's a limitation of the screen. You can say that it can only show the previous data in a particular limit manner. So in that particular scenario, it will purely consume your whole window space, and you have to, in that particular scenario, you have to basically show the latest changed file in the bottom only. Okay, so that is the advantage of this particular command. Next is pwd command, which is nothing but a present working directory. Okay, so we have this particular command to check with. This is not something which is because right now if I am here into the folder, yesterday I also told you that sometimes what happens is here the path does not comes to you. So it happens in the root directory that the path does not comes up. So in that particular scenario, you can simply execute pwd command to check the file system. Now if I go to the home directory, okay, so the directory path is also comes here. So in that particular scenario, you don't have to execute a pwd command to check the home path, because it's already visible to you. So somewhere somewhere you don't gets that particular requirement, because here you are into home directory. So that time you will execute the pwd to check the present working directory. Okay, and next command is the cd command. So we know that var log is the command to go to this to folder, and you can also go to the next folder. But there is an extension of this command, okay, which you will feel very easy to do, because what happens is we also sometimes in in a TV remote, we have an option like we switched between the different channels. But what happens is we have a option called back. What it does, it will basically bring take you back to the previous session channel which you have accessed earlier. So similarly, cd command is also providing us the extension to go to the previous folder without executing the cd command. So suppose I am into the unattended mode. This is the pwd. I am into this particular folder, and there is another folder called usr. So this is one of the folder. Now if I want to go back to the previous folder, I have to type simply the complete path, right? Var log unattended. So it is like just 3 folders, but if it is like 10 to 5 to 7 folders, it becomes very lengthy at a time. So what you can do is, and also you have to if it is not visible on the screen that in which folder you went last time, you have to execute the history command and see that what is the scroll to up of the command, and say that let's see that where I basically executed the command, and go over there. So it's very lengthy over there. So what exactly we have is, now here you can see that the output, that which exactly folder I went sometime back, it's gone. So I'm not able to know that which folder I went there. So from the from the history also, I went to this cd, then I went to cd this unattended upgrades. Now if I want to go to that particular folder directory, so there is an option called cd hyphen. What it will do is, it will basically go to the previous folder like a back option, and you can go to and fro like this one. So like this one, you can go to the previous folder, again come back to the same folder, again go back. So this is the extension of the cd command here. So that was the cd command. Now we have some commands which is related to the compression. So I told you that during the first command itself, that there are some commands which we execute for the purpose of compression, and we use these commands only if we have some kind of backups, we want to store it somewhere or in our file system. So in that particular scenario, we use these kind of options. The purpose of compression is simple. that it's basically used to create a particular a file or a particular archive file which is less in the size also. So that particular the advantage is that like this basically it's not something which is used for archiving. For archiving we use the tar file, so we are good with the archiving with the tar file alone. But yes, we basically want that we want to do a kind of mechanism to do the compression of the file system also. Now let's see that if I have some files and folders with me so that I can show you compression and the advantage of that. But I have used this command in a lot of backups, taking backups and all. So and I have find out that if I simply create a tar file, if the backup is of 1 GB with the gunzip or bzip2 utilities, I can get that particular backup to 600 to 700 MB. So that kind of compression you can have it, and you can save some kind of size over there. So let's download some file from the internet. At least that file is easily available. So the Tomcat Apache, they provide this particular file, or they provide this binaries into a tar gunzip file. So you can see here the tar gunzip file is there, because so let's make you understand that how the binaries and how executables are basically provided into the market, and how exactly the binaries are packaged into the space. So the very first one is the zip file, okay, which you get as package for usually for the Windows, for the Linux, or any operating system. Even for Mac also you can use the zip file format for the packaging. So that is the standard implementation. Now the next implementation is the next packaging is .conzip, .gz. Now this particular option is provided for the applications which is running on the tar Linux formats and all those things, because this is not related to the Windows. And then we have 32-bit Windows zip, 64-bit Windows zip, and then the last one is 32-bit and the 64-bit installer. So you can see that zip file is something in which the files are packaged, which you can simply locate into a particular location, and you can start using it. Tar gunzip is also a file in which you can extract and utilize it on a particular folder. And then in the last you have the installers, 32-bit and 64-bit installers, which you can use to install the packages. So these are the standard way how in which multiple operating systems are covered with this one. Tar gunzip file and zip file, since it's a Linux distribution packages, so they will it can be used in the Linux and it can be used in the Mac operating system also. So these are the basic implementations. Let's download a zip file. So another command which is not there in our document, so it's called as wget command. The advantage of wget is that you will able to download any file using this command. So I have to just give the URL here, wget the URL. It will connect it to that particular account link, and it will start downloading that particular file. Since it's a VM, a virtual machine, that's the reason why it's very slow. The speed is coming in KBs, but when you use the AWS cloud, the speed comes into the 1.2 MB or 1.5 MB. The speed comes up. So that is also one of the advantage. Okay, and one more thing I'll show you, that this is something which is the interactive command which is running, and we cannot use the our shell prompter unless that command is completed or something like that. So in order to if you want to run a command which is which will run in the background, so there is an option. So I'm downloading a tar file here now. So in order to run it into the background, I can say that @ is there. So in the last ampersand symbol you can put here. So what will happen is it will run in the start running into the backend. So you can execute the jobs command. You can find out at what basically command is running, and once this is done, it will basically save the file tar gunzip file here. So the tar gunzip file is coming here. It's slowly downloading over there, and this particular jobs is running, and I can use the shell prompt easily. So I don't have to wait for the command to be executed, and I can do this. So I can avoid those particular changes. So it's taking some time to execute. So okay, so the zip file is there. Okay, I can unzip it. Unzip is a command to unzip a file. So you can see that the background job is completed. I have the targ unzip file here. So unzip command, it's not an inbuilt command, so I have to download it. So it says that app install unzip, so I have to install unzip utility. Okay, so what it does, it basically released me the Apache folder. Okay, so let's check the Apache folder size. Now see, it's very easy comparison here, that we have three files here. One is the zip file, one is the targ unzip file, and one is the folder only. Okay, so you can see here that the size of folder is 15 MB, and the particular the size of targ unzip file is you can see here it's 9 MB, and the zip file is of 9.6 MB. So it's clear over here that what happens is the size of a targ unzip file is, the compression of targ unzip file is very high as compared to the zip file. That is one thing. And then the next thing is that the next part is that we have a folder which is having a size of 15 MB. So 15 MB gets compressed to the 9.9 MB or something like that. So there is almost a savage of 6 particular MB. So you can see that it have compressed almost to 70 to 75% of compression it have done. So that is the advantage of these commands. Now that is the reason why I told that if we are going to have a file called 1 GB, so we can compress it to the 700 MB to 800 MB, so it can save us our size also. But that depends on to the files also. Some files you can compress, some files you cannot compress, so it's variable. So it's not hard coded that yes, of 1 GB you can reduce it to the 700 MB. So it's not a hard coded manner. So you may change it, you may compress it in that particular manner, or you may not. So it totally depending on the situation. But yes, the compression is very high in case of the Swift targ unzip. So I'm just removing the I can remove the Apache tomcat.zip file, and the folder also. So I have a targ unzip file here itself. So very important thing. So I'm just extracting it first, and then I'll tell you that how to create the unzip file. So last time when I told you that we executed one command called xvf apache dot tar file, but here since we have gunzip file here, so one extra parameter to extract it, we want to have it like z here. So what it will do is it will remain the tar gunzip file will be there, but the folder will be extracted to others. So what we can do is we can remove the apache.tar.gunzip file, and we'll create a new file for this one. Now let's see that what is the size. Size is 15 MB straight away. So let's create a let's create a tar file using this command. So it will create a tar file. Okay, so all these files are basically part of the archive. It picked all these files from the folder. Okay, and I got a tar file here. Now let's see the size here. Okay, so with the tar file, not much compression, just the files are archived into a single file. So I get an advantage of 1 MB only. So now the next part is I will be doing the compression. Okay, I'm executing gzip and then the tar file. So what difference I got now with the gun zip? When I gun zip the tar file, so we usually gun zip the tar file only because that's how we work. So it created a .tar.gz file, but it basically reduced the size also from 15 MB to 9. So that is the advantage we get from the gun zip file. And if we want to particular what is it that tar file again, so you have to just see gunzip dot tar file. Okay, so that will basically bring us the tar file again to us, and again the tar file size comes to 13 MB 14 MB instead of the 9 MB. So that is the both options that how we can basically create a file, a gunzip file, and how we can extract that particular gunzip file. So both the options are there. Okay, so similar thing. So that is the gzip file. Now the similar thing is there with the bzip also. Bzip is also a way to compress, do a kind of compression here, and unzip command I have already shown you that how to unzip it. So bzip2 is also a kind of compression. So it acts in the similar way like this gzip works. So let's see that how it works. Now bzip2 is also something which I don't have to have any kind of installation or something like that. Bzip2 apache.tar file. It will also create a .bzip2 file. So you can see here that with the 15 MB, bzip2 compressed it to 8.9 MB as compared to 9 MB by the gunzip. So not that much difference, but yes, it's also acting in the same way kind of compression. Now this compression happens in the healthy manner. There is some other tools, third-party tools, which is available. You can install them and you can use them, which can do and more than this compression also. But that will that will be the that compression will be on the basis of you can corrupt the files also, and there can be that after the compression you cannot be able to extract all the files fully. So it's highly recommended that whatever you do in Linux, and as I told you, in enterprises mostly they will have you will not have a lot of the third-party tools or commands, so you have to use only the inbuilt commands. So it's highly recommended that you use the inbuilt commands only, because that is the way that you will avoid the you can have the security on the system. So bzip2 is also the same way how it works. bzip2 -d to decompress apache.bzip2. It will again bring us back the tar file, and that is how it works. So both the commands, same implementation, same task, but with a different compression level they do provide. So one we saw just with 15 MB that how much variation is there. Probably with the number of files with the GB, the files or the folders in GBs, it may vary in the difference may be into the number of MBs. But that's okay. We have two options, we can use it, and these two options are consumed at least I have used extensively. So it's common for even this Mac also, and any Linux operating system. So the thing when I say that it's common for most of the operating system, why I'm saying it, because when you work in a huge organization, there are a lot of servers inventory will be there. So it's not like you will have only the Ubuntu servers, only the CentOS servers. So there are some point when what you have to do is you created one script for Ubuntu on Ubuntu instance, and you will be running that script on CentOS, Red Hat, everywhere. So cross-platform scripting and cross-platform execution of commands, it's very important to understand that if you create anything onto one operating system in Linux, it's very easy to replicate on all others. So that is the advantage of utilizing this particular command. Okay, so next is unzip command, again the standard way, and I showed you also that how it works. Then it's the shutdown command. So in AWS you have different options, from the GUI to do a shutdown, to do a restart of the server, but how to do it to the command line. So if you logged in onto the if you're logged in into the instance and you want to do a shutdown or something like that, so you will not go to the AWS console, take 5 minutes to do it and then do it. So within the 5 minutes itself, the operating system will bounce. So there are different options. There is an option called init 0, which will bring the system down, shut down, and there is an option called init 6. So init 6 will basically send a request for the bouncing for a restart. So my virtual machine got restart here. Okay, and I'll show you the shutdown command also right now. So once this particular command is up, or this GUI is up, so I'll show you that. Shutdown command, shutdown -h now, which will turn out the system on immediately. If you want to do it after some 10 minutes, it's +10. If you want to do restart, -r option is there. If you want to force the file system check during reboot, then you can use -fr now. So these are some of the options which you basically use with this particular operating system. Okay, so simple. So this command is related to the shutdown, but we have commands called init 0 and init 6. Init 0 means shutdown, and init 6 means that it will do the reboot. But be very careful about these commands, because these commands you can run in local servers or local environments also, but you cannot run these commands onto the production environment. So I highly recommend that you don't use these commands into some important servers and all. And usually I don't execute init 6 commands in any of the environment, not even in the local environment, because when you are into the Linux space, what will happen is that you get used of some of the commands, and if you want some requirement, you try to do everything with the command. So at that particular time, if you're into production environment or something, and somehow you got stuck that yes, I want to come out of this environment, you may without knowing, you can fire that command over the prompt there, and you can basically reboot the production server also. So that is the reason why you have to be very cautious when you have to do things on the production environment. Try to avoid multiple commands execution over there, because this I'm telling you from my experience, that how I have worked in multiple investment banks, and they have a review after the implementations, that what are the different commands we have fired executedly, or we basically executed. So out of the in the basic audits, they will basically check that particular part, and if they found out that these kind of commands have been executed, so they will get the list also, that who have created or installed that particular you have created this environment, or who have created that particular part, that commands. So this is very critical part. Okay, so we don't know that which organization you are going to join, or what kind of environment it's there, but you should be aware of this one, that it's very critical with the Linux, that everything is from the command, and it's very, and especially when you get the root access, it's very important and very responsible job. Now
Anuj, if we don't use init, it is risky, then what other commands are are available as a substitute of init?
No, first of all, I am saying that init command, it's not something like that, that the substitute is safe. I'm saying that I'm not saying that init is dangerous. I'm saying that the functionality which init command does is very dangerous. If my idea is that, we say this thing that if you do the things regular, it becomes a practice, right? It becomes a habit. So I'm saying that if this command becomes habit into your local environments, or on daily basis you are doing this, regularly you do this on some maintenance servers or on the test servers, you may accidentally execute this command on the production environment.
But how to safely reboot a production server? Like if you have all the approvals and everything, what is the safest way to reboot a server?
See, if it is the server in the data center, obviously data center servers will do it. But if you are working in the AWS, so in that particular scenario, there is two options. One is the stop. One is the reboot is there. Okay, so there is a third option in AWS, which I am going to explain you in the AWS topic, that it will basically terminate there. So I will explain you that we should ideally do a stop first and then start. Okay, people do reboot of the operating system, but what happens is that is not a complete reboot, and that is not something which is healthy. We should do a stop, and then 1 or 2 minutes we should wait, and then we should do a start. So that is the proper way and the safe way to do a production reboot in the AWS server and any operating system. Sorry, any data center. If it is in your data center, or if it is in KVM or Zen, or in the VMware hypervisor virtual machines, you can do like this approach also.
When you say stop, you mean does it stop any services?
That is very good thing. When multiple services are running in the operating systems or in the server, the first thing what you have to do is you have to take the backup of the configuration files. I'll tell you what things you have to do. First of all, you need to take a backup of this file, that what exactly the mount points, because here we don't have multiple file system mounted, but in the operating system, in the production environments, you will have a lot of SANs or NAS associated with the operating system, right? Multiple mount points will be there, a lot of SANs will be there. So you have to take care of this particular file. You can simply say to temp folder. You can say like this one. This is what I follow for a lot of reboots, or whatever the reboots we do, or activity we do. So first of all, I'll take a backup of di5.txt, because what happens is whenever we reboot, all our SAN or NAS, all those things gets unmounted and offline, so we will not be able to access it automatically. So df-h, that is something which is which is there into this. We will be able to know after the reboot that these are the file system which should be mounted, and if something is missing, we can do it, but we should be able to know. And then next is that very important fs tab is there, a configuration file in which all the mount points is evident here. That what are the mount points is, we have this vg root here. See here, vg root mounted here on the slash. So all these file system, even in the SAN and the NAS file systems, also gets associated here into this particular file, and we can simply take a backup of this fs tab, and we will be able to know that yes, this is what this file, these many file systems are there. And once that entries is there with us, we'll stop all the services. We'll like we have service here, service Jenkins status. Right now Jenkins is not state here, but we can say like this one, service Jenkins stop. So this way we'll stop individual services, and then we will start the reboot. We will do the manual reboot, or we can do a reboot of the virtual machine from the hypervisor, or from the AWS we can reboot it. And then once the system is up, we will compare, we'll start the services manually, all the services will start, and we'll also see that what is the difference, what is the df5. We'll execute df5-h command, and then we'll see that if all the file systems are mounted properly or not. So these are some of the scenarios which you follow into the production environment during the reboots. So there are a lot of works during the reboots and these scenarios. So you need to be very careful about it.
And since you implemented a lot, is there any best practice that you can share it with us?
See, I'm having the document in my office, but I cannot get it for you because it's a confidential document. But whatever I told you, that is what we follow. But usually, organizations change that particular part with their own implementation. But this is a standard implementation that we get mounting points information. We store that into a safe backup file, and then we'll stop all the services, and then I can we can work with this particular reboot. We can reboot it, and then again we can check that all the services are up and running or not. So I have noted, I'll note it down. I'll try to get some data from that document and I'll try to share it. So one document is offset command and second is server reboot document. So I'll see that if I have, I can get that particular document or something like that. Okay, I'll try to share it. Okay. Now, next is the FTP command, and FTP command is something which is used to transfer the files from one server to another over the protocol of file transfer protocol. So it's called as file transfer protocol, FTP. And nowadays we don't have the FTP servers. Only the financial domains and the banking institutions use the FTP server to upload or download the files. Okay, but in actual way we don't use this particular file. So we have a module, okay, where we will be next topics where we will be explaining this, doing all the configurations of FTP, and we will be accessing a dummy server of FTP, downloading the file and uploading it. So we'll do that particular part over there. So FTP, lot of implementations were there in the past, but nowadays it's not there. Okay, people use options like S3 or SAN or NAS kind of options, which is more reliable than FTP. So FTP is slow as compared to the other new options. So next command is the cron tab, which is a very important command, and it's called a scheduler in Linux. So it's a scheduling task scheduler like we have in Windows, task scheduler. So it's the similar task here, similar command. So not lot of all the organizations, all the servers, all the projects will be using the cron tab in their project. So cron tab is very important utility, and it's used to schedule shell scripts onto the Linux environment. Now how we use this particular part, let's see. Now cron tab is part of every operating system of Linux. So cron tab -l will be the command to list it on that if any cron tabs is there. Cron tabs means any particular scheduling is there or not. So that is there. And if you want to edit it, simple -e. Okay, so it asks you that what is the editor you want to go ahead. If you want to go ahead with the nano, you can use nano. Vi vim is there, vi vim.tiny is there. So any option you can go ahead. I can go for vim. So it opened me the command, or it opened me the script here, file here, which is called cron tab file, and I can basically edit it, and the cron tabs will be created. Now there is a associated the timestamp, like what is the time you want to schedule, what is the command you want to schedule, and what is the that all those things. Now there is an example here. I am just going to show you that, explain this one, and then we will be doing it real time. So there is a time detail here, that when exactly you want to schedule this particular job, and that is the thing here. And we have details like month is minutes is there, then hours is there, day of month, okay, and month is there, and then day of week is there. Okay, so these are some of the details which is coming here. I'll explain you everything here, like how it works. And then we have a command. Last one is the command. Now command means that what exactly you want to execute at particular time which you are configuring. Now here, this is an example. You can run a backup of all users account here at 5 AM every week, with this particular line. So you're taking a tar file. This is a tar file of a particular file of a particular folder /home. So we are taking a backup of /home, and we are basically storing into the where backups here. So like this one, we can schedule a backup of the MySQL, a database backup, or a file system backup, or an application backup. So these kind of backups we usually schedule in the operating system. So that is the implementation of cron tab. Now, how exactly it works, let's see that. Okay, hash in Linux represents the commit, like // in any Java or C++. So those languages have // but in hash in Linux we have hash here. Hash represents that it's a commit, it will not be processed. If you want to remove it, if you want to make it active, you have to remove the hash. So it's common with all the configurations also. Suppose I have a requirement that every 2 minutes or 5 minutes a command should execute. So what will happen is, let's see that. So that is a syntax for every every 2 minutes. */2 means that every 2 minutes it should execute. If I make it star only, so what will happen is every 1 minute it will execute. So that is the not something which I required. So I want that every hour, every 2 minutes it should execute. So if I give something if I give some value here over this one, like if I give 5 value here, so it will say that when a 5th hour will come, like suppose 5 a.m. in the morning will when it will be 5 a.m. in the morning. So between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. okay, every 2 minutes this job will run. So but that is not my requirement is there. So I want every hour, every 2 minutes this job should run. So I say that this like this one. And one more thing, this scheduler is very lightweight. It's an inbuilt scheduler of Linux. It's very lightweight. It will not increase your processing. The only thing is that the command which you are executing in the cron tab, that can increase the utilization of the CPU or something like that. But the command or the cron tab scheduler will not take much of the CPU utilization. Okay, so and then the month, which month you want. So if you want only June, July, August, or whatever the thing, so you can restrict that. But I want every month here. So those scenario also I will explain you that every and then we have day of week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever you want you can put over here. So I can make star here, and then we have the command. Now this particular command will basically tell me that what exactly this is. So I'll put a command like echo date command and concatenate to a log file, temp log file. So this is just a command. We will we'll see this in the shell scripting also, what this double concatenate means. So we saw that single arrow means a particular task, and this double what exactly double arrow means. So just understand as of now that this is a command which is getting executed every 2 minutes. So we'll save it. Okay, so it says that so it basically shows me that there is a bad day of week, which I did not put the parameter last star. So it basically told me that. If I say cron tab -l, it will show me that here I can do a tail command. Okay, tailf is a command which will keep on reading the file, okay, in a interactive mode. So it says that tailf is not there, so I have to execute now tailf command is that if you want to read a file, and that file should
Anuj, I think you can also do a watch on the warlog, right?
Yes, we can do watch also. We can do tail also. A lot of things.
Yeah, because watch will
yeah. So as I told you that there are so many commands. Okay, if you keep on executing in your experience, so with the experience you're executing one command, you will get familiar with that and you will get comfortable with that. But different people use different commands, so you can use watch also. So I usually use tail, so that is the reason why I'm showing it with your tail. So
No, Anuj, the only reason I wanted to use watch is because it will update in 2 minutes, right? Usually, when you're not expecting anything to change in less than a minute or two, you don't want to use anything else, right? That's why.
yeah, so that is the schedule. It's also kind of scheduler at every 2 minutes it will check, right? But tailf is having a different functionality. It will keep on, it will keep the log open, and tailf is something which you use for the scheduling, for troubleshooting. Like if because this will be used only by the developers and all those things. So we do manage the application issues, and we look into that also, troubleshooting of application. So we use this command like some I'm doing some execution on the script. Okay, suppose let's see. Simple implementation. I want to, you can see here in the sources logs that this command gets executed. So it's showing over here. Now simple command is this, that if I suppose, now see this again, a new cron tab executed after 2 minutes. This is 56 and this is 58. So this is simple like this one. If you want some application to do some process and I'm clicking on some button and some log file, I want to check the what exactly is happening in the log files. So in that scenario you cannot do the watch, because you will not able to see the difference. Now I can press so much enter, and whatever the new output will come, I'll get the exact string that what exactly happened when I clicked on a button. Understood? Now if I create a duplicate session of this one.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes.
Okay, so I get specifically I can say that this is what I get for my operating system when I logged in, or when a particular user logged in. It says that started session 5 of user Anuj. So this is something which I can share with my any particular team or developer, that yes, this is something which is happening when you are logging or when you are doing something. Okay, so different commands is having different accessibility and different requirements. So depending on the requirement you will work. So right now my requirement is that I want to be into a interactive mode in the log files, and immediately I get a that command execute or something like that, I should be notified. Okay, so now it's the time that it will execute this again one time, because it's already 7:59. So after just 15 seconds again the new cron tab will run. Okay, so you can see that how immediately it gets executed. Let's go back to the tailf of the temp log file. So you can see that different time steps executed at different particular time. Now let's edit the cron tab in a manner that I should be able to provide a specifically time. I don't want it to run it every 2 minutes. I want it to run at 04, 02 and 8. Okay, so you can see that exactly 2 minutes it executed, but after 2 minutes it will not execute. Okay, so that is what we have. So let's create one more cron tab. Meanwhile this cron tab works, so we'll create one more cron tab which will be like 8:2. Okay, and sorry, 8:5 it will be. Okay, and next part is day of month. Now today is the day of month is 1. Okay, and the month which we want to have is 11th.
What does 8 signify?
8th hour. 8 a.m. is there, right? So 8 is the hour. It's a 24 hours format.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. So 8 is the hour, 1 is the day of month, as there, and 11 is the one. and day of week is something which will like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. So if I want to have a like specifically on day, I have to convert a Wednesday. I have to see that what is the day for Wednesday. But if I want to have a star, I can have a star at every because what happens is you cannot control the day. That if this year if this year Wednesday one number is on Wednesday, so next year you will not know that whether this it will be on Wednesday or not. So Wednesday, so this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, these things you usually don't configure in the cron tabs. So yes, the 8th hour and 5th minute will come every year, and it can come on. It will be surely come on 1st November. 8, 5 will every year it will come, but whether it will come on Wednesday, Tuesday, or Monday, it will not. We will not know. If we hard code today for Wednesday, next year if it is of Thursday, it will not run. Okay, so simple is that. So I have configured this thing. Let's see that if this gets executed. You can see that after 8th 2, the next job did not executed. Okay, because simple is that at 8th 4 you don't see any occurrence here, so which means that it basically did not execute it. The reason is pretty simple, because the timestamp of was 8.2 only. Okay, so that is where it did not execute it. So that is the advantage of having this cron jobs, that we cannot we cannot make sure, or we cannot we can easily configure that where exactly I want to run this command. Now exactly 8.5 this particular command gets executed. Okay, and this 8.5 command is there, but after 1 minute this will not run. This will not run next month also, every day also it will not run. So it will be specifically executed on 1st November 8.5 a.m. Okay, that is how we configure this cron tab jobs into our for scheduling some task. So we'll wait for a couple of 6 and 6. So let's wait for 5-10 seconds over. So it will not be executed. So I can do a tail hive. So it executed 8.2, but it did not execute it 8.4, and it executed on 8.5, but it did not execute it on 8.6, or it is not going to execute on 8.7, because that's the implementation. So this is a way that how we can do the scheduling part. Now I have just given a small command here, but you can execute any command or any couple of command you can execute, and that will surely work all that. Okay, so this is how, if you want to disable any cron job, you can simply say like this one. Like this one, you can save it, and you can save it, and if you do controller, so it will be disabled. So you will not be those controllers jobs. Controllers will not be executed. Those controllers cron tab jobs will not be executed. So that is, so this is all about cron tabs, and you can play with this time duration and these things, but this is the real implementation that how cron tabs works. And usually the some backend jobs or nightly jobs gets executed with this particular kind of cron tab utility. Okay, so we have covered till 20 commands. The next 20 commands we'll cover it tomorrow. That is for today, and I have taken this note of these two things, and I'll try to work on this documentation. Not tomorrow, but I'll surely work it on the. If I'm not able to work it today or tomorrow, I will surely work on the weekend and provide it to by Monday surely. Right?
Just a quick info, guys. ZaranTech provides DevOps certification training. Through this program, you will learn complete hands-on and professional development skills, and this course we already have helped thousands of professionals in successful career transition. You can check out their testimonial on their YouTube channel without a doubt. And this course can set your career to new heights. So visit the course page link given in below in the description and take the first step towards the career growth in the field of DevOps.